What's your name?
I'm here representing Brian Musgrove.
You're Brian Musgrove?
I'm here representing.
I have no idea what that means, so why don't you come up to the podium?
I tried to.
Nope, yeah, stand in front of the thing. So what is your name?
Brian Joseph Musgrove.
Okay, are you an attorney? What's your P number?
I'm not an attorney.
So then you can't represent Brian Musgrove. So
this is textbook sovereign citizen theater, splitting the defendant from the person, as if they're two separate beings. The judge cuts it off instantly. Courts don't play along with semantics. The law applies to the one thing that matters, the living, breathing individual standing before the bench.
defendant, correct?
I'm an executor on that estate.
Okay, so none of that is valid or legal. So you have an attorney?
He's not doing nothing for me.
Okay, that was my question. Do you have an attorney, yes or no?
I have, yeah, he was supposed to be representing me, but.
So you have Michael Dagger-Margosian. Okay, so he's your attorney. Okay, so go have a seat. When Mr. Dagger-Margosian gets here, I'll call your case, okay? All right, so Mr. Musgrove, you want to come up to the podium, please? This is in the matter of the people of the state of Michigan versus Brian Joseph Musgrove, file number 23-21461FH. I have Isaac Sneed appearing on behalf of the people, and I have Michael Dagger-Margosian appearing on behalf of Mr. Musgrove. Mr. Dagger-Margosian might, oh, there he is. So, Mr. Dagger-Margosian, this is a date and time set for pre-trial in this matter. Mr. Musgrove said that he was appearing on his own behalf. I did verify he is not an attorney, and you are still the attorney of record. So, Mr. Dagger.
Well, Your Honor, I am aware that Mr. Musgrove wants to present information to the court. I'm happy to be standby counsel if he wants to represent himself. Obviously, this court would have to go through the colloquy of that, but obviously it's Mr. Musgrove's legal right to at least ask the court to do that.
Notice the judge's composure. She doesn't immediately strip away his choice or shove a lawyer in. Instead, she weighs his right to self-representation against the obvious risks. It's a glimpse of the balance courts must strike, honoring personal rights, even when the logic behind them is shaky at best.
I'm here to observe at this point.
All right. So, Mr. Musgrove, when you were at the bench or up at the podium before, you said that you were appearing on behalf of yourself. So, Mr. Musgrove, are you asking to no longer have counsel represent you?
Well, what I'm understanding is that the courts is a private for-profit.
So, Mr. Musgrove, I know where you're going with this, and none of that is valid. None of that is law.
I'm not the all caps name.
None of that is valid. None of that is law. You are standing in my courtroom. I have jurisdiction over you.
I tried to file paperwork with the clerk's office ahead of time so that you would have time to review it, and they denied me.
I know what you're talking about. None of that is valid under the law of the state of Michigan or the Constitution of the United States of America.
What do you mean it is?
No.
The Supreme Court says it is.
What does it say it is?
The Supreme Court says that if we were at the age of 18, we were supposed to claim our minor status.
Nope.
This moment is a turning point. The judge draws a hard line, flatly rejecting the sovereign citizen arguments as nonsense with no legal weight. She makes it clear, pseudo-law and conspiracy theories have no place in her courtroom. Real cases are decided by statutes and precedents, not internet playbooks.
Okay.
So here's what I would say to you. Mr. Dagger-Margosian is, like most of our public defenders, exceptional attorneys and very well versed in the law and very experienced. He gives legal advice. You may not like the legal advice, but it's usually good advice. I've never had anyone from the public defender's office not wholeheartedly try to represent their clients. So what you are talking about is not valid, and it is not going to get you.
What really stands out here is the judge stepping in to defend public defenders. She makes it clear, these aren't second-rate lawyers, they're skilled professionals who fight hard for their clients. The problem isn't their ability, it's perception. Too many defendants confuse tough advice with bad advice, when in reality, it's often the only thing keeping them from sinking deeper.
Out of this case, you're not going to be able to say all those things because it's not valid.
Everyone involved in this court case has a financial interest in the case.
I don't have a financial interest in your case. I get paid by the state of Michigan, whether you plead, whether it gets dismissed. I don't make any money off you. We have budgets. The court system is not a profit generating revenue. We are here to represent people so that people who are charged with crimes are protected. People who are victims of crimes are protected. And that's why we have
But in
all
order
these.
for there to be a crime, there has to be a victim. There is no.
Well, there is a victim in this case
The victim
because
would be the company. and the
you are
company-
charged.
I can't face. the
Actually,
company.
just hold on. So your crime that you are charged with, which you are innocent as of this time, let me grab the right file, is failure. Oh, this is let me see. This is an embezzlement charge. So you are charged in count one with embezzlement 50,000 or more, but less than 100,000. Being an agent, servant, or employee of Hardwoods of Michigan Industries did convert to your own use without the consent of your employer or principal, industrial tools and equipment in the amount of $68,938.40 or money or equipment. And that's a 15-year felony. So if you were
The reality lands heavy here. Musgrove isn't fighting traffic tickets, he's staring down embezzlement and computer crime charges, with a potential 20-year sentence. That's the brutal contrast. Playing word games in court while the stakes couldn't be more real.
guilty by a jury, you can go to prison for up to 15 years. You're charged in count two with using a computer to commit a crime. To facilitate the charge in count one, that carries a maximum penalty of up to 10 years in prison. And the way the statute's set up, I can actually stack those possibly. So you potentially could be looking at up to 25 years in prison. So the victim that's alleged in this would be that business.
Right, and I can't face that accuser because that business can't get on the stand for me to ask questions, and a third party.
But their
can't stand
representative
it.
can. Yes, they can. Yes.
Musgrove tries to argue he can't be tried against a business. But in white-collar crime, the victims are often corporations, and the law is clear, they speak through their agents. The judge cuts through his tactic instantly, reminding him that dismissing a company as a victim simply won't fly.
Yeah. Yes, they can. So I have $189,000 of student loan debt that was forgiven to be a lawyer. You do not. And Mr. Dagger Margosian, Mr. Isaac Sneed, all of the attorneys here went to law school to know the law, and their job is to advise you of the law. So
Yeah,
yes, they
they're
can. Yes,
They're
you
going
can
by
be charged.
everything, all the
can't-
laws and statutes that you guys go by
Are
are for
legal.
corporations. They're for fixed.
Still a crime. Still a crime.
But I'm not
Still a
a fictitious
crime.
corporation, I'm a living person.
Yep, and that's why you're standing in front of me. If you were dead, the case would be.
Musgrove doubles down, insisting he's not a corporation, classic sovereign citizen rhetoric. The judge fires back with brutal clarity. If you were dead, the case would be dismissed. That one line exposes just how futile his entire approach really is.
Yeah, the all caps name is that.
That means nothing. That's not valid.
Okay.
It's not legal.
right.
So, do you want to represent yourself, or do you want to have an attorney to represent?
I need some time to think.
Okay, so I'm going to set this for another pretrial on March 20th at 8:30 in the morning. And
At last, Musgrove hesitates, stuck between the fantasy of winning with pseudo-legal tricks and the brutal reality of two serious felonies. The judge grants him more time, but the writing is on the wall. Sovereign arguments won't save him.